Alrighty, hello everybody. I am live. Blacky should be here before too long, hopefully. Hey, Andrew, haven't seen you for a while. You are in Wamsutter, Wyoming. Doing split break, too windy and less idiots at night. This is very true. Hey, Joe, good to see you again. I'm so glad you made it again. Grasshopper, if you're here, I know that Skipper is also streaming, so you're probably modding over there. And hi, Craig. Brian, hello. And Andrew, Craig. I think I got everybody. Oh, there's Grasshopper. So I hope everybody's good tonight. I've got a couple cards and the buffalo to sell tonight. I still have a couple bigger drawings that I need to finish up, but I didn't get them done in time today. Boy, my hair's a mess, huh? Ugh. But I'll show you the cards and then I'll show you photographs of them. Well, I didn't get good photographs because I took the photographs at night, and night's never good for taking photographs. But I have a card of a coyote. This guy was in Yellowstone Park in the wintertime. And he was actually like laying right by the road, and I think he was hoping that one of us winter tourists driving by was going to give him some food. But anyway, yeah, it's a wintertime coyote. And then I also have a female wood duck. And that's two small cards that I got for tonight. This has a lot of color in it, but it's hard to get it to show up. And then I have the buffalo, which is up there. I'm not going to reach for because instead I'm going to just show it to you. So first I'll pull up the buffalo to show you. And this is framed 8x10. Although if you wanted to get it custom framed, it's probably, the drawing itself is probably about 8.5 or 9x11. Maybe even close to 12. But the thing is that I always try to make it to where people don't have to custom frame stuff, because custom framing is very expensive. And if I'm selling to friends, which I consider myself doing when I'm on here, I would just as soon not make them pay for custom framing if I don't have to. So, but this one is matted to an 8x10, and the outside dimensions of the mat are 11x14. So let me show you. This is the buffalo, which I know a lot of you have seen before, but we're going to try it again here. This is the buffalo, and hi, Nona. And it is not on the bark paper that I usually use. I usually use a handmade bark paper that is made by a tribe in South America and has been made the same way, like pulping the paper out and out of different kinds of bark and then laying it on rocks to dry. It's been made that way for a couple hundred years and still made the same way. But this is papyrus paper, which is more of like a really, really thin woven wood. And I thought it would work out really well for this buffalo. Okay. So that one, and then I'm going to see if I can pull up one of the little ones to show you a photograph. Well, like I say, these photographs are not the best because anytime that you take them at night under artificial light, they just don't turn out that well. But I'll show you anyway. Mojo, hello. So we got Nona and Mojo come in. Okay, so this is, oops, I can't do it like that. I've got to actually like share it. Sometimes, but I get ahead of myself here. Like I said, this is a really crappy photograph. But I'll show you real quick. This is the coyote. really a bad photograph. I'll try to get a better one tomorrow. But anyway, that kind of gives you the general idea of it anyways. And now let me find, oh, the other one is right there. So I didn't even have to stop sharing. And this is another little card, and it is a female wood duck. Hi, cat. So that's a female wood duck. So that's the 3 things I'm going to try to sell tonight. If anybody at any time is interested in throwing in a bid, just go for it and we'll see what happens. So, meantime, like I say, Blacky should be here before too terribly long. And if anybody else wants to come up, there is a link at the top that you can click on and follow directions. And that will get you up here on the panel. One of these days, I would love it if he's still in here, Andrew. I would love for you to come up and we can talk about ghost stories and stuff that you have seen on the road and stuff, because I would imagine you have seen stuff on the road besides lot lizards. So, but one of these days we're going to have to see if we can do that when you are like, know that you're going to be like resting for a while without having to drive. So, what has anybody got to say? Oh my gosh, Mark. Hello. It's so good to see you. How are you doing? I miss your streams. For anybody that doesn't know, a couple of years ago, Big Easy used to always stream, and he would have these stream marathons like a couple days long. Seriously, he was like the streaming king, and I love Mark. And I'm always glad when I see him. And oh my God, it's Mile High Pleckos. Another person that I haven't seen forever. Hello, hello, hello. And how are you doing? And you should come up. Even if you don't show your picture, you should just come up and talk. Or you could come up and flip me off or whatever. There is a link pinned at the top. Oh my gosh. I am so glad to see you too. I never see you anymore. And I hope that the weather is doing good down there in the Denver area. Yeah, I know. I haven't seen Mark for forever, and I haven't seen Michael for forever. It's just like, this is so awesome. This is so awesome. So I'm going to show you guys real quick. This is what I'm trying to sell tonight if anybody's looking for art. We have a buffalo on papyrus paper, and of course it's really hard to see him good on a webcam, but you can kind of get the general idea. We have a buffalo and a female wood duck. A little card that's a female wood duck and a coyote. So that's what I have tonight. You do have a new addition to the fish room that you can share. Will come up. You click, you see pinned up at the top of the chat, you will see a link to click on. And then if you follow directions, I think if you haven't like been on StreamYard before, you'll have to like click on the accept things and shit to get up. Coyote, $30. Okay, we got a bid on the coyote for $30 from Nona. I think I got some stuff already going to you. I have a stack that I was going to take this morning. I thought, you know what? I am going to bid. I'm going to not bid. I'm going to wait till after tonight so that I can ship out these things in the morning too. These ones. Thank you, Kat. Thank you, Kat. So I'm just kind of waiting to see if Michael says, oh crap, it got late early. Okay. Just letting Blacky know what we're doing so he can hurry up. Okay. So, Mark, how are you doing? How's your health doing? Are you feeling good? Oh, you don't think it would work? You get crappy internet in your basement? Well, doggone it. You could still try. Do you have any photographs like that you could come up and share some photographs? Or if you sent me some photographs on Facebook, I could probably share them. Let me see here. Let me pull you up just in case. Oh, good. He did send me some stuff. Okay. But we're good. Oh, he's got a rubber ducky. You got a rubber ducky in your fish room. Yay. And what is that yellow thing sticking down there? Oh my God. I knew it. I should have known. I should have known. Let me share it anyway. Because this is Mikey, who is Mile High Plecos, everybody. And this is what he's sharing with us. Let me see. Oh, that's the wrong one. I gotta go back. Hang on. Okay, let's do this again. Demonetized, and I know, in 3, 2, 1, and here we go. Okay, he's got a rubber ducky floating in his fish tank. Isn't that just so cute? There you go. Very cute, Mikey. That's the last picture that he sent me like a few months ago, last time he was around. Because he loves me. So there you go. Is Bob okay? Um, was he upset? I don't know. Sometimes it's hard for me to tell if Bob's upset or not. I think he said he was just busy and had to like cut back on streaming because he's just got so much going on right now. But he's welcome to come back anytime he wants to. But for now, we are Bobless. Ducks come with rudders, don't they? Well, that duck comes with nutters, which I suppose could be used as a rudder. I wish you could come up though, Mikey. Hey, Brian, how are you doing? So, I don't know, like I say, let's see, we got we got $30, a $30 bid on the coyote. And besides the coyote, we also have doing an extra stream tonight, in case you guys didn't know, because I've got to pay rent and I got a really high electric bill. And yeah, so I'll probably be doing streams every night for a while. But we also have this female wood duck, which they're really cute. Yeah, Bob is overworked for sure. And then we also have the buffalo, which I'll show the photograph of the buffalo here. And this is it's framed to be an 8x10 with an 11x14 mat on the buffalo. And it is on papyrus paper. So there's the buffalo. And like I say, it's on a piece of papyrus paper, which is kind of like a really super, super thin wood and kind of woven. It's kind of cool paper too. Different than the bark paper that I usually use, but it worked out really well for this buffalo. So that's what we got. Maybe one day you don't travel like you used to. You mean like maybe one day you'll come up on my stream? That would be awesome. Bob also has the second largest zoo in Tennessee, yeah. But tell me this about, you know, that he's upset. Was he mad at me? Because that's also always a possibility. That's always a possibility, because if I don't offend somebody at least once a week, then, you know, something's wrong. So I'm very good at offending people and not even knowing it, just because it's the way I am. He's disappointed. Okay, now I'm really worried. What is he disappointed about? He made a comment on Instagram a while back. Oh, I never go to Instagram. But like I say, he's gotten mad at me more than once, and decided that he didn't want to be on my stream more than once. A couple times he's been mad at me. One time I remember years ago, he got really mad at me and Candy both, because we were teasing him, and I guess we can go too far sometimes with our teasing. Made him mad. But I miss having him here because I love seeing all those animals and stuff. But it is what it is. For now, I know he's busy, so we'll just leave it at that. And yeah, he's been at the Ark. Like he's been missing a lot of his own streams from being at the Ark. Plus, he's always got lots and lots of animals to take care of. So I don't know what else has everybody got going on here. I don't see anybody else mentioning anything except for Mikey showing us his rubber ducky. Now you guys have me a little bit worried about Bob, wondering if he is mad at me. But I'm not going to worry about it. I'm not going to worry about it. It's just, it is what it is. So, okay, so back to the auction. We have a bid on the coyote for $30. And we still have the buffalo and the female wood duck. And I'm kind of waiting for Blacky to show up. And I realize that there is a big stream going on right now with lots and lots of people. So we might not have a lot of people for a little while. But we'll just kind of deal with it. And Blacky says he's trying to hurry. He forgot about the time. So he's coming. Oh, it might be about YouTube in general, yeah. So what am I working on right now? I've got a bigger drawing of a wolf going on and a bigger drawing of a roadrunner. So I'll probably be streaming again either tomorrow night or the next night. And as soon as I get those guys done, I've got shit that I got to take care of. Like, it was so cold in last month in January. It was so cold when it was like minus 25. And now I have a $500 electric bill. I'm like, shit. So I've been like turning the heat off as much as I can now that it's been getting up into the 40s. So I'd rather just wear a coat in the house and have lower electric bills than that. But yeah, that was brutal cold and a brutal bill now to pay. You'll check on the wolf. Yeah, a lot of people like wolves. Wolves sell fairly quickly too. So, but yeah, I'm working on a wolf. So I like doing wolves. So, Mikey, do you still have fish? If you're still in here, do you still have fish, or have you kind of like not doing them right now? Because I know last time I talked to you, I gave TM Aquatics your number to get some of your plecos from you. Yeah, the house doesn't stay warm when it gets down in the minuses like that. It was for a couple nights it was in like down to like minus 26. And it takes me having electric heaters going like crazy to even try to keep the house above freezing when it's that cold. So that's sucky. And YouTube in general has changed a lot in the last few years. Yeah, I have to pay rent too, which I'm a little bit behind on. And that's going to be pretty bad too if I don't get them some money pretty quick. So we don't want to talk about that because I've got that to catch up on too. I'm just getting behind. So I just doing the best I can. And then I missed a few days drawing because my desk lamp like broke, but I've got another one now. So I can work at night again. In Iowa, it's... Oh, you don't do any shipping anymore? Okay. I can understand that. Did you have a really cold month last month too? I think we got it was like minus 26 here. The heat has to be able to maintain 65. No, here I don't even try for 65. If I can keep everything from freezing inside the house, I'm doing good. And probably like when the house is at its warmest, it's probably like maybe 55, which to me is livable. I can handle that. But like when it was minus 26 outside, I had washed a pair of sweatpants. And yeah, oh yeah, minus 20 and minus 30. That's what we had here too. But I'd washed a pair of sweatpants and I had heaters going all over the house and like I've got like an antique rail bed. So I'd hung the pants on the rails to dry overnight. I got up the next morning and the pants were frozen solid. So I was going, yeah, it's cold in the house. Your son's apartment has to pay for a hotel. I guess that holds that. That would be nice, but I don't have that kind of money. And nobody's going to pay for a hotel for me to stay in, so I just have to do the best I can. But I do have an electric blanket, which does help too. So if worse comes to worse and it gets like really, really, really cold in here, I just go to bed, make a blanket for it. No, Wyoming doesn't have a lot of laws on that help a runner out at all. This is Wyoming. Redneck cowboy country. It is what it is. I survive. I survive. But anyway, so if anybody wants to bid more than $30 for the coyote, do it now, or I'm going to call it sold to Nona. So we'll give that a minute. And then the other card that I have tonight is the female wood duck. And then I have the buffalo drawing. We're probably going to need to do another one. Probably tomorrow night. Get another drawing done. Because like I said, I'm kind of like really need to do some catching up on bills right now. We are in bad, bad, bad shape. But I'm going to show the wood duck again. I know, it's always one thing after another. I totally agree. That's the story of my life. Okay, so here's the wood duck. Kind of a pretty bad photograph of it, but give you an idea of what that one is. Yeah, I like the female wood ducks. The males are like really super flashy, but the females are cute. And that, the wood duck is from when I lived in Livingston. Okay, thank you, Mikey. Thanks for stopping by. It was really good to see you. I'm always glad to see you. And have a very good night and stop by anytime. Anytime you have time, stop by. So, okay, then the coyote was, like I said, it was wintertime and the roads were plowed. And I came to kind of like a traffic jam of people. In the wintertime in Yellowstone, they just do, they keep the roads open from Gardner to Cook City, because Cook City is really up high in the mountains, and to get to Cook City during the summertime, you can also go over Beartooth Pass, but Beartooth Pass closes in October. So, because Beartooth Pass is like, I think the highest part of that road is 11,000 feet above sea level. So the only way to get to Cook City for them to get their mail and groceries and gas deliveries and UPS and FedEx and all that stuff, they have to go through Yellowstone, so they keep that road open in the wintertime. That's the only road that's kept open. So anyway, that winter, I like going to Yellowstone in the winter because I see buffalo and snow and shit. It's pretty fun. And the road that's open goes right through Lamar Valley, which is full of wildlife. So I was heading back and close to Mammoth, and the road's been plowed and plowed and plowed, and the banks were alongside the road from the snow plowing were probably about 5 feet high with snow, and that coyote was in the road and just kind of laying in the road with room for people to pass. But like I say, I know he was thinking that if he like laid there, somebody was going to throw some food out the window for him. So I'm sure that's what he was up to. But that's where the reference photo for the coyote came from. So what else was I gonna say? Oh, I'm gonna call the coyote drawing sold to Nona. And I know that I've already got some stuff going to you. I know I do. So you don't need to worry about giving me your address, I don't think. Yep, I do. I knew I did. Okay. So we're good there. So the other things that we've got for sale tonight is the buffalo and the wood duck female. Yep, I'm sure you do. And hopefully, like I said, if everything goes good, I should get that out tomorrow. I almost went today with everything, and I thought, well, I'm still trying to sell some stuff, so I'll give it one more day. Because if my truck's not running, so I have to take a taxi to get to the post office, and that's $30 right there. So I don't want to like go with one or two things if I can help it. So what we were talking about? Oh, we were talking about YouTube. YouTube, it has changed a lot. A couple of years ago, we had a really good fish fam thing going on, and I would stream and Bob, I'm sure, was the same thing. I mean, it was like I would stream once or twice a week, and I'd have 80, 90 people in my streams, and then when it dropped down to 20, I'd end the stream then. And now I'm lucky if I have 20 people in here. So Mark knows what it used to be like. We used to get a lot of people would watch our streams, and we had a really good community. And as the community grew, it kind of split up, and now it's not like it used to be at all. We used to really support each other, and now it's totally different. It's fractured into different little segments and stuff. It's just not like it used to be. And also back then, it was like normal for me to go like 4 hours when I streamed, and like say Mark, he would go. What was the highest you ever went, Mark? Was it like 24? I know it was more than 24 hours. I think you went a couple days one time, didn't you? Yeah, it's like little cliques of people now, and they don't like intermingle that much and stuff. It's not good. It's not like it used to. I won't say it's not good, but it's not like it used to be at all. 90 hours. See, Mark streamed for 90 hours straight. And we just don't do that anymore either, like we used to do that. So, well, everybody's welcome to mine too. It's just people, don't do it. And if that's from a couple different things, one of the things that happened was the thing with Matt, which I'm sure most of you know about. He got mad at me, and and Bob and made a really nasty video about us, and that a lot of people sided with him and don't come in here anymore, and it's not like it used to be at all. I know, 90 hours, huh? I used to watch Mark's streams all the time, and sometimes I'd get up there on the panel with him. But no, he'd take naps, and somebody else would take over the stream while he was napping and stuff. But he was on there a lot. He was the king of streaming. But yeah, and even like the Australia guys, they would have like 24-hour streams once in a while and stuff. And then a lot of the people that used to stream back then that aren't even on YouTube at all anymore. A lot of people have just, and some of them had really big streams, but they just dropped out. Yeah, I love Mark. Mark's a really good guy. Really good guy. But yeah, so YouTube is a lot different than it was a couple years ago. Oh, okay, Joe. We'll see you later. Thanks for stopping by. And I don't know. Blacky should be showing up here pretty soon. He said he's hurrying. So, yeah, it is. It's changed a lot. We don't have like people supporting each other like they used to as much, and like I say, it's kind of all broken up into cliques and stuff, which I just try to stay out of. I don't like. I don't. Probably the thing that I like least in life is like drama. I do not do drama, so I just try to stay out of it. But there's a group that looks down on those of us that hang out. Yep, yep. And I've also heard that there's a couple people. Oh, there's a couple people that are quite popular. That one guy has like a Discord page, and they go there and like, I mean, this guy's like really nice to everybody, and then they have a Discord page and they go there and talk shit about everybody. So I'm like, okay, whatever. I just try not to get involved in any of that kind of stuff. Exactly. As a community, we have helped each other through so much. Yes, we have, and we've had our ups and downs and lost people and you know, it's just, yeah, I try to stay out of it too, Nolan, because we don't need that shit. We are not high school kids. We are not high school kids. We don't need that shit. But yeah, so that's part of the change. That's part of what it is now, though. And I hope that, I don't know if we'll ever get back the way it used to be or not. But, and then like saying life goes on, and a lot of people have just dropped out because they've gotten too busy, so they don't stream anymore. And we just see him once in a while. Like Jeffro was in here for a little while last night. It was good to see him too. But you know, he used to stream almost every single night. And then he got a girlfriend and had a baby, and I think he's had his second baby now. And you know, you can't blame him. Life goes on, and YouTube streaming kind of falls by the wayside. It's just the way it is. I know it is. It is, Nona. Very heartbreaking. And my goodness, how did that happen? Okay. I'm going to reload the site because I seem to have lost it. So hold on for just a minute. Okay, that was real quick. I had to reload real quick because it was doing funny stuff. You could go follow that link, Cat, to read it, or he's like Dusty's like losing his wife has a inoperable brain tumor, so she's going to be passing really soon. So that's what's going on with that. So, like I say, we're a community, and it includes all this other stuff going on with us as a family too. So anyway, we have the coyote we'll call Sol Denona, and then we also have the wood duck female, and the buffalo, if anybody's interested. So, and let me see what we got here. What was I going to do? Oh, I'm going to send the link to somebody else and see if we can get a couple more people up here. So give me just one small moment here. And I need to pull up my stream on YouTube too, so I can look at it on YouTube. Okay. And Boots Cats, hi. Hello, hello, hello. It's good to see you. I'm gonna copy and paste that. Now on StreamYard, my picture looks fairly okay, but when I pulled it up on the YouTube channel, it looks like really, really super dark. So is it really, really super dark for you guys? Okay, Blackie. Drive recklessly, Blackie. Yes, Sam. Okay. What? What is that? Okay, there we go. Okay. Okay, got that done. Hey, Jenny Lynn, how are you? Oh, I was asking because I just pulled up my YouTube and I look like really, really dark on YouTube, whereas on StreamYard I don't. So do I need more light, you guys? Okay, so it is dark. So let's try. I'm going to turn on my desk lamp and see. That's going to make it too bright, but let's see what we can do here. It's kind of too much light, but maybe better on YouTube. Let me see. Yeah, that's kind of glaring, isn't it? So that's not really good. I don't know what else to do. Let me see if I can change anything in the settings. Let me see here. Turn this off. Oops, off. Okay, but that makes me just way too dark. Now, see, it's hard for me to tell because on StreamYard, like looking at myself on StreamYard, it looks fine. But then when I opened up my YouTube, I look like super, super dark. I look better with the lights off. I've been told that a lot in my life, Grasshopper. Yes, I've been told that a lot. Okay, we'll just kind of go with it. Let me kind of check my settings and see if there's any way I can adjust the light. Virtual background, no. Touch up appearance, I'm too old to worry about it. Recording, hotkeys, layouts. Nope. That we got already, guess. Yes, see viewer comments and posts. Yep, we got that clicked. Play a sound when guests enter. No. Guests must authenticate or whatever. No, don't worry about that. Just look at them. So we'll skip that. General. I could change to portrait if I wanted to, but I'm not going to worry about it. But I don't see any, like, camera. It doesn't have any way to change the lighting on it. So I guess before the next stream, I can go into like my camera settings on the computer itself and try to lighten it up. But in order to do that, I can't have StreamYard on because it won't let me use the camera on more than one app. So I can't do anything about it. It's just going to have to be what it is. An eagle has been stalking my dog for days. Oh no. He needs a spike vest. Yeah. I know I keep thinking I got to do it, but then whenever I'm streaming, I don't have time to do it while I'm streaming. If it's really simple, go ahead and throw up how to do it, and I'll see if I can do it right now, because I really don't like that hard either. But I can do this. Yay. We can do this. Oh. You know, it probably looks better when I'm like looking at StreamYard, because one thing is if I go over to YouTube, the YouTube stream itself, I have it on dark mode, so it's not throwing as much light on me as if I have it on StreamYard. Is on the white background. So it's unchecking a box that's labeled live reactions. If I click on it, I don't see anything that says live reactions. Oh, I bet I'd have to go into studio, huh? It's in the YouTube studio, yeah. Okay. I'll have to see if I can remember to do that. Yeah, what about those hearts, Sam? Okay, so Nona has bought the coyote, so we also have wood duck for sale, a female wood duck, and we have the buffalo for sale. Okay, I got that saved. I will follow it. I opened it up and I got it stopped, and I'll try to remember to do it before I go to bed tonight. Oh, $25 for the duck. Okay. If anybody else is interested in the duck, throw out a bid. Oh, you have to do it for every stream? That kind of sucks. Okay, let me see what they have to say here. Okay, but how do you get over to that? Hmm. Well, I'm going to see if I can do it, or if I'm too old to figure it out. You might have to do it before you start streaming. I don't know. Okay, go to YouTube Studio. And need to go to the live stream thing now. Chapters, thumbnail, playlists, audience, tags. I think I'm getting to it. I think I'm getting to it, guys. I'm down at the bottom and I didn't see it. comments. Recording date, location, tags, which I never mess around with, which I should. Made for kids, no. Live streams, no. And I don't see it. I'd have to watch it, see if I can figure it out. I see the section that they were showing, but I don't have that box on mine that I see. I'll try to figure it out on the next one. I don't want to spend my stream trying to figure it out. Kiwi, hello, how are you? The white hearts. So, okay. So do we have anybody that wants to come up with me till Blacky gets here? I don't know how to make a white heart. So how's your weather over there, Kiwi? GRB, hello, hello. Hope you guys are enjoying your summertime over there. Blacky had to run to the store real quick. He'll be back. You were trying to load a blade into an algae scraper, but it's not working. Huh. Scuba Steve, hello, hello, how are you? Like I say, if anybody wants to come up and say hi for a while, Blacky ran to the store, but he'll be back. But I'm just kind of up here by myself right now. We've got Nona bought this coyote, got a little drawing of a coyote. And she also bid $25 on this wood duck. If anybody likes the female wood duck, it's got a $25 bid on it right now, but you can add to it whenever if you want to buy it. Little female wood duck. So other than that, I could tell a story or something, but I don't know. I always have to have something that reminds me of something to tell a story. It's hard to just pull one out of thin air. Oh, 104. Oh my God, that is too hot. It got up to 51 here today again, which is unseasonably warm. What do we got for tomorrow? I think it's supposed to, it's cooling off again a little bit. Tomorrow is 47, and we have a few days in the 30s. But still, that's even in the 30s is warm for this kind of time of year here. Usually February is well into the minuses. Yeah, I did Western style riding, and I like worked on training my horse for cow pinning and stuff like that. And I never did ride English. I've gotten really annoyed at the post office more than once. Tell us about the best arrowheads you collected or the stuff you would look for. Um, my dad had a huge arrowhead collection. I was supposed to get part of it, but it's another thing that my younger brother stole. So I don't even have a single arrowhead from the time. So, but we used to go out to Eastern Oregon a lot, and Nevada sometimes. But we would mostly surface hunt. We did dig out a couple caves, but most of the time we surface hunted. But my dad could have filled up like 3 or 4 museums with his collection. And like I said, I was supposed to get part of it, but my younger brother is kind of I haven't spoken to him for many years, and it's a long story, so I hate to tell it because it's kind of like But he's a greedy little guy, and he ended up like taking the arrowhead collection, and then got my mom to sign over power of attorney to him, and he took the house and everything else. So basically, he took everything that I was supposed to inherit. He took it all for himself. So I hope he's happy with his little money grubbing hands and doesn't mind what he sees in the mirror every day. That's all I'll say. Weather here was cool and pouring this morning. That sounds nice. You're estranged from your creepy brother too. Yeah, this is my younger brother, and he's always cared more about money than anybody. So that's just the way he's been since we were kids. So it was no surprise, but because he had taken so much already and borrowed so much money, never paid it back and stuff like that, my mom had actually cut him out of the will. But he did this whole scheming thing where he got her to sign over power of attorney to him, and then he just took everything. So yeah, my older brother was good too. I have an older brother, but he passed away from COVID a couple years ago. And then I had a older sister too, and she passed away from um, internal bleeding, basically from drinking. You have some blind cave tetras. Those are really cool. Oh my gosh, that is really cool, GRB. I've never seen them in person before, though. I've seen like some videos of them, and I've seen pictures of them, but I've never seen them in person. But yeah, we used to do a lot of arrowhead hunting when I was growing up. We did it all the time. We'd hunt along the river in Western Oregon, and we'd hunt out in the desert in Eastern Oregon. Different kinds of arrowheads, and out in Eastern Oregon, you get the bigger pieces made out of obsidian, the big knives and stuff like that. Smaller stuff too, but mostly bigger points, knives and stuff. Whereas along the river, along the Columbia in Western Oregon, you get the little tiny little bird points. Some of them are only like half an inch tall, and just absolutely made perfect out of agates and stuff. So totally different types of things. Whereas, like I say, in Eastern Oregon, you get the great big pieces, the knives and stuff made out of obsidian and jade, and along the river, you'd find the super fancy little bird points that are made out of all kinds of agates and pretty rocks and stuff. And we found a couple like pipes and stuff like that along the river too. And then you get stuff like we found a couple bowls and pedestals, or however you pronounce that, and pipes and a lot of net sinkers. You'd find along the river, which would be like a big rock, and it'd have like two bands going around it, one going in each direction for to tie the ropes to and stuff. And one time we found a cannonball that was from, I forget what it was now. My dad figured out what mortar and pestle. Yeah, we had some of those. And there was a cannonball that we found that was, my dad figured out exactly what it was from, but it was from an exploration along the Columbia, and they were shooting the cannon off at the Indians along the bank. Surf City Cichlids, hello, hello, how are you? And yeah, so imagine they can find their food through smelling in the water and stuff. That is so cool, GRB. Maybe someday I will have some of them. Those are really cool. No, there's a lot of arrowheads and stuff got covered up when they built the dam. The cannonball thing was, yeah, well before the dam was built, but dams were built. But when we used to hunt the Columbia, it was after the dams were built. So, and there's a couple reasons for, my dad got a boat, and it made it so that we didn't have to worry about cutting across anybody's land, because people don't like you going on their private property, but they can't do anything about you being on the river, because like 6 feet up the riverbank is owned by the government. So if you like have a boat and you can, and you know where there's different old village sites and stuff, then you can hunt up to 6 feet off the water line without being on somebody's private property. There was one guy that got really mad because he didn't want us hunting arrowheads on his property, even though he didn't own that. So he thought he would be really smart to get us to quit hunting arrowheads on his little strip of the river in front of his house. So he got like a big bulldozer. Hi, June. And he dug like a big trench right through the middle of where the arrowheads were. It's saying that it was so that he could bring his boat in up closer to his house. So he put this big trench and dumped all the dirt on top of the old village site. But what that did was it trenched up a bunch of stuff that had never seen the surface for many, many hundreds of years, and thrown it up on the surface. So it was a whole bunch of new arrowheads we were finding on that, which did not make him happy, but I still remember that. That was pretty funny. He thought he was screwing up the arrowhead hunting, but he actually just dug up a bunch of new stuff and threw it up on top. Are you going to meet June this year? That's awesome. Awesome, awesome. We're doing a little sale, June. I'll show you what we got. We got that buffalo still. If you're interested in it, I still have it. And then Sketty Nona bought this little coyote guy. And she put in a $25 bid on this, which we're going to close out pretty soon if nobody else bids on it, which is a little female wood duck. So that's what we got going on. There's the coyote sold, $25 bid on the wood duck, and the buffalo still for sale. Yeah, he wasn't very bright. He actually did us this huge favor. Now they do, in the late 60s, they passed the law that you aren't supposed to pick up anything. Oh, the guy that dumped the dirt, he probably could have if we would press press the matter, but the thing is that he actually helped us out instead of destroying it. But in the late 60s, they passed a law that you aren't supposed to pick up any arrowheads anymore. So, which didn't actually stop my dad at all, but we watched it get passed and stuff, and everybody now just says, oh, I found this like in the early 60s, or when I was a kid in the 50s or whatever. And unless they actually catch you with them, they can't really do it too much about it. Okay, I just got a message from TJ, and she just got out of a class, and she's going to try to come in if she can get on her Kindle, she says. Okay. Yeah, Civil War stuff is like, I think they get even more after you if you go out on the old battle sites and pick up stuff from the Civil War. I've heard of several people getting caught with metal detectors and stuff in the old battleground areas, and they did get really upset with you about that. Really upset. The arrowheads, they aren't really cracking down a lot on it yet, because but like I say, they did pass the law in the late 60s that you aren't supposed to just pick up arrowheads anymore when you find them. You're supposed to leave them laying where they are. But yeah, the Civil War stuff, they get quite upset with you about that stuff. But most of the collecting that we did when I was a kid was like in the early 60s through to like, we were slowing down quite a bit by the time they passed that law, but my mom and dad still went out once in a while looking for them. But most of what we found when I was a kid was before the law was passed, so. Gettysburg I think is a park. I'm not sure if all of them are or not, but I remember seeing newspaper things where people were caught. Like, I know this one guy was like a college professor, and he was caught with a metal detector finding stuff on the Gettysburg battlefield, and he got in a lot of trouble. Gettysburg is supposed to be extremely haunted. Oh, I started to say why my dad got the boat for it, so that he could hunt along the river. There was a couple reasons for that. Hi, Krugo. There was a couple reasons for that. One of them was kind of unspoken, but part of it was so that he didn't have to worry about trying to get through people's private property and stuff to get down to the river to find the arrowheads. And the other reason is because I am pretty sure that when we lived in Rainier, which is up in the mountains, like way out in the middle of nowhere, above the little town of Rainier along the river, I'm pretty sure that my dad saw some Bigfoots, and he would not. We moved into town abruptly, and he would never go in the woods again. He would go out in the middle of nowhere in the deserts in eastern Oregon, but he would not go out in the woods ever again. So when I was growing up, he got the boat and stuff down at Arrowheads along the river, but he wouldn't go in the woods. Can I please show my art again? Okay. So we have the ones that are for sale. This one, Nona has bought. This one, there's a $25 bid on it. And then we also have the buffalo, which is matted to an 8x10, and it'll slip into an 11x14 frame. And let me pull it up here. Okay. Yeah, so this is in an 11x14 frame with an 8x10 opening. Hey, Rack. And this one here. So this is also for sale still. You could come up, Rack. We're kind of waiting for Blacky to get back from the store. Oh, you should like this one, Blacky. Rack. There's a $25 bid on it right now. Let me see if I can show it good. It is, let me get out of the light here. Light glare. Dang it. It is a female wood duck, if you can see that. A cute little female wood duck. I like female wood ducks. And that one has a $25 bid on it, but it is not sold yet. So if you want to come up, you can. If nobody's going to come up here with me, I'm going to throw one of my art videos up and make myself small for a while till Blacky gets back from the store. And we got you up the other day. I sent you a little note on Messenger. We got you up over 100 on your channel. Let me see what it's at now. If anybody, hey, we got a bunch of people in here from King Frostmare right now. I know there's still some left. And if you have not subscribed to Rat Crust Studio, it would be really awesome if you would do that. And I'm going to post the link to him right now. And he's at 104 right now. Yay. And let me post it here in the chat real quick. So if any of you have not subscribed to Rat, please do so. And it doesn't cost anything. And it is a great way to show support for our friends. Oh, and I see Rack there. Hi, Guy.
Hey, how's it going, Pam?
It's going good. We got you up to 104.
You sure did. I appreciate that. And hello to everyone in chat. I saw those hellos as I was trying to get YouTube turned off so I could come in on StreamYard. Thanks for having me on your panel tonight, Punchy.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you're always welcome here. You know that.
Yeah. We got Sam here again. I was so pleased the last time I came up, he finally opened his package that I mailed him. That was a lot of fun for me.
Yeah. Yep.
And that, I did see that just before you mentioned showing it to me again, that wood duck hen. Beautiful.
I love them. They are so cute. And
you
like,
got a $25 bid on it.
Hard to see it, but she's like, from a distance, if you look, she looks gray and brown, but if you get up close, she's got real subtle coloring in her feathers, like blues and greens and stuff. And then they don't have the red eyes like the male. They have like dark eyes, and then they have like the white circle around their eyes, which I think is just so darn cute.
It really is.
So darn cute. I love the females myself, even though the males are very flashy and flamboyant colors, but the females are more subtle and just really cute little ducks.
Somebody help me understand Kat's message. And hello, Kat. GTSY. Good to see you.
I think so.
Well, it's good to see you too, Kat. Thank you very much.
Yeah, we have a $25 bid on the.
Who's the bidder?
Sketty Nona. She also bought the coyote that I had.
Oh, yeah, Sketty. No, I've got a collection of those cards. I really enjoy Sketty. Good luck. I hope you get that one if you like it. The coyote's really nice, kind of badass.
Yeah, he was laying in the snow. He was in Yellowstone, and it was during the snowstorm. Hey,
Blacky is here.
And I was driving.
Lynn, hello, how are you? And Bob Kaler's in the chat. Hello, Bobby, young man.
Bob, oh, Bob, hi. I didn't even see you sneak in. Hello, hello. I hope you're doing good.
How's everyone doing?
What was I saying?
Better now, Blacky.
Jenny Lynn,
I just had to go and run some errands, and it's disgusting outside. It's so muggy and hot again. Don't like it. Hey, Kat. Hey, Jenny. Hey, Huawei. Loves. Everyone else in the chat. Hello, Bobo. I see you in there too.
Yep, and if anybody has not subscribed to Rack's channel, here it is.
Thank you.
We got him up to 104. We want to get him higher if we can.
I did a very private dance.
Most of you should,
when I got over 100.
Should be subscribed to Blacky, but if you aren't, you'd better do it, or I will come after you.
I don't know why you wouldn't subscribe to Blacky.
Want that?
I'm quickly going through the chat, and I think everyone in the chat.
GRB.
I think Kurugu.
Yeah, you've missed. I don't know.
What's the temperature there, Blacky?
Big Easy was here for a while.
What's your temperature?
Him for a while. Travis, hello. And Mikey from Mile High Plecos was here for a while. Did you probably didn't see what he sent me to show. He said he got a new addition to his fish room.
No, I didn't see that.
Okay, well, I'll show you real quick but I got to warn you, it's Mikey, so you know that, right? So if you're going to be easily offended, don't look to see what Mikey sent me.
Who do you think you're talking to?
This is his new thing in his fish room. He's got a new rubber ducky floating in his fish tanks.
It seems to have a rather long appendage. Yes, right.
Yes, it does.
Nice. How cool.
And then the last picture that he sent me, I'll show you real quick, was the last time I saw him, which a couple months ago. And he sent me this because he loves me. Oh.
Classic. And in answer to your question, Rack, I couldn't answer it straight away because my little temperature display on my screen said near record instead of a number.
Wow.
But it only says 31 degrees Celsius.
Oh,
that's about 88 degrees Fahrenheit.
Feels like 34 because the humidity, it only says 69% humidity. But it feels worse than that.
34 would be 93 plus Fahrenheit.
One of our friends from the King Frostmare that's in tonight would like to know what Blacky's channel is. So we need to do that. So say something in the chat, Blacky, and I'll pull up just your channel real quick. Oh, no, never mind. Grasshopper got it.
Of course
because Grasshopper's always on top of that stuff.
Moderator Supreme. Huawei on the job.
Big Steve, hello.
No doubts.
Big Steve.
My channel just does, g'day Steve. My channel does fish, reptiles, birds, nonsense, lots of nonsense as well.
Birds and stuff from Australia, though, and snakes that he finds out in his yard, and frogs and stuff in his outdoor pond thing, his outdoor bathtub, and different critters from Australia that we don't see here. So it's fun to watch his videos.
Yes, it is.
I
love those birds in his yard.
Yeah, like the kookaburra and stuff. They're like,
and the fairy wrens.
Fun to watch his videos. It's very much fun.
My yard's a bit of a jungle at the moment because the lawnmower man hasn't been for a few weeks, and it's been so hot and a little bit rainy and very humid. So the grass is it's growing 2 inches a day. It's ridiculous.
Holy cow!
Well, I'm going to say if nobody else is going to bid on that little female duck, I think Sketty Nona's going to get it for the $25, and she is, if I may say so myself, she's very lucky to get that little drawing for $25 because it's a nice little drawing. She's going to really like it.
Yeah, congratulations.
Good stuff.
So that one is
really
yours
enjoy
too,
that.
Nona. So that one is yours too. So what we got left right now is the buffalo, and then I've got a couple other big drawings that I'm working on that hopefully I can put up like maybe tomorrow night or the next night. We'll see how that goes. As soon as I get them done, I'll put them up. We'll have a little stream for them. So other than that, it's you guys take over now. I've been sitting here talking for all by myself for an hour and a half, so it's time for somebody else to talk for a while.
Well, are those all the paintings you've got for sale tonight, Pam?
Yeah, the buffalo, and then I have those 2 little cards. Yeah.
Okay, so the hen.
And I have
wood
a
duck
wolf
sold,
that I'm hoping to have done by tomorrow night. I've got a wolf going and a roadrunner,
but not for tonight.
but not for tonight.
The
No,
roadrunner will be worth dropping in for. It'll be great to see. So the wood duck sold, and you've got a coyote and a buffalo left.
No, the coyote sold 2.
Oh, what you got left?
Just the buffalo right now.
Is it a small one or a larger one?
No, it's an 8x10. Well, it's framed 8x10.
Is that the starting bid 200?
Yep.
Okay, that's a beautiful piece there. Ready for framing, right?
Yep, it's ready to drop right into an 11x14 frame.
Okay. All right, Blackie, did you get all of your errands taken care of tonight?
Yeah, so far.
Okay.
I've still got a stack of dishes to wash before I cook dinner tonight.
Oh, don't we all?
I had a bit of a slack night last night. Ended up on June's live stream with Adele and other people.
I've been away too long. I don't recognize those names.
June is only Oscars.
Okay. All right.
But yes, it's much nicer to be back inside in the aircon after hastily rushing through my errands just before. But it will still
you can
feel
come up
nicer.
if you want to, Bob. There's a link at the top of the stream if you want to come up.
Come on up, Bobo.
Come, Bobo. And Bob's your uncle.
Bob's your auntie's living lover. Robert's your mother's brother. How many other variations you got?
I was just at a birding festival in Florida, the Space Coast Birding Festival, Titusville, Central Florida, Atlantic Coast. Lots of international bird touring agencies there, but I did not see any from Australia. I did see a couple that did bird watching trips to Australia.
Yeah, we do have company now, Bob, but these guys would love you to join us. You know that.
Yeah, come on up, Bob.
Come on up. And Big Steve says, how's the weather out there? It's actually unseasonably warm for here. The last 2 days, we've gotten up to 51. for a high. And like right now it's like 29 degrees, which is really, really, really warm for this time of year. February is usually like well into the negatives. Yep, Bob, come on down. But yeah, it's gonna get cooler for the next few days. We're gonna have highs in the 30s, but it's not like it normally is for February at all.
Same here, Pam. We're going to get up to 60 degrees Fahrenheit this
Holy
weekend.
cow, 60
In
degrees.
February. That's nuts.
Yeah, February in Wyoming is usually you're looking at negatives at nighttime, and like maybe in the teens during the day is normal, but we've had like 3 days in a row now where it hit 50 degrees.
So you think there's something to this climate change?
Oh, definitely, yeah. There definitely is. We aren't getting like 5 years ago. If I look back on some of my Facebook posts and stuff, like 5 years ago, it'd be like negative 40 this time of year.
Wow.
And 6 feet of snow. We haven't seen like even 2 or 3 feet of snow for several years now. We get snow, like right now there's still snow on the ground, even though gotten up to 50, like the roads and stuff are clear, but in the shadow parts of the yard there's still quite a bit of snow, but it's still not up into like 3, 4, 5 feet at all. So yeah, there's definitely climate change, most definitely.
And all the extra rainfall, lots of rain.
And the summers have been getting hotter here too than they've ever been before. But you know, it's if I have any people out in the chat who are flat earthers, they probably don't believe in climate change either. But anybody as old as me knows there's damn well a big difference between 10 years ago and now. There's a huge difference in the weather. I mean, like even last month when it got down to minus 26 at night, I'd say 5 years ago, that would have been minus 40 or minus 50 here. So
I saw some interesting things in Florida. Manatees, marine mammals.
you saw them?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that is awesome, Rack.
There's a bunch of them down there. And man, are they big.
Yeah, they are. The version of them we have down, well, we don't have them down this far, but they're North Queensland and Northern Territory. They're up the northern end of the country. And we call them dugongs, but they're essentially the same animal.
Yes.
Oh, cool.
A friend of mine was a marine biologist, and one of his main jobs was working with the dugongs, doing censuses of them each year and, basically observing the populations and stuff. He always used to talk about that being quite fun, leaping off boats onto them to tag them and whatnot. Good one, Boots Cats.
Yep. So speaking of climate change,
That's funny.
what's it? Boots Cats?
I'll put it up so you can see it, Rack.
Speaking of climate change, those large marine mammals are typically migratory in Florida, and the waters have warmed up, so they're not migrating in the winter. So they're having a huge impact on the brackish lagoon, eating all of the grass.
Yeah. And there's other stuff
impacting the fishery negatively.
I remember reading a couple years ago even that like the armadillos are moving further and further up north because things are warming up. So places like that didn't used to have armadillos are getting them now.
I can't remember. Can I upload a video file?
Yeah, you can, like, it'll pop up on my screen and then I can click on it.
I didn't know if you had to be important or not to be able to upload a video.
Well, it just depends on how nice you are to me.
Well, you know I'm the nicest, Ham.
G'day, GRB. GRB swam with dugong. Very friendly critters.
Oh, I see it down in the water there. Oh, very awesome. I would be so excited you'd hear me squealing. Looks like there's a couple of them there.
Oh yeah, there's a whole pod of them.
Because I can see some in the shadows of the tree and then one up right at the edge of the bridge.
So it's very shallow water there in the lagoon, and sometimes the boaters aren't able to see them. They call them affectionately speed bumps.
Speed bumps.
Yeah, I've seen photographs of them with big scars all over them and stuff from where the boats get them.
Yeah. They're just so big. It's really overwhelming. I did a couple of clay ones that I included in a tiny diorama.
Oh, cute. Very cute.
Tiny indeed.
You got to show it again because I wasn't quick on the fingers.
Let me give me a second, Pam, and I'll try to find the diorama to post.
Okay.
See all of those. I've been busy. Look, while you got me up there, or while you don't. This is something that happened today.
Oh, I like that. Very cute.
Yeah, so it's a trout that's risen to take a fly. Which way you want it there, camera?
Any port in a storm, Wildway?
Okay, I'll try to find that photograph now, Pam. Did Bob decide not to come up? Bobo not going to join us?
No.
Huh.
Oh, I didn't mean to remove everybody.
Been doing any art, Blackie?
No. No, it's been too hot. There's been too much cricket on. I'm actually missing a cricket game right now to be here with you people.
Oh no.
But that's all right, because for the last month and a half, I probably got a little bit cricketed out. So I've had a week off cricket, and it's been quite nice. It's quite time-consuming to watch a lot of cricket, especially test matches.
So someone like myself, Blackie, who doesn't have any experience with cricket, how long would you reckon it would take me to pick up on how it's played?
Not too long. It's fairly simple and straightforward. And most Americans have some kind of grasp on baseball. And, there's some similarities in it. But it's a very strategic game, more strategic than baseball.
Mm-hmm.
G'day, Corey, Kiwi, June. But yeah, the simple rules and the state of play are quite easy to pick up on. But once you start getting into strategies and certain things about the game can be quite complex and convoluted. But essentially I liken it to chess for its level of strategy because It is a very strategic sport. like setting your fields and everything like that. You don't have, like baseball, you have your fairly rigid fielding structure, whereas in cricket you basically put your fielders all over the place depending on what your bowler is going to be bowling and what sort of batter he's bowling to. Lots of different factors.
It sounds pretty complicated. I don't know if I would pick up on it quickly.
There is a 20 over competition started in the US last year, which is going to probably be ongoing every year, and that'll definitely be the one to get Americans into the game, because it's the 20 over version of the game is generally always quite exciting and fast paced, and it only takes 3 hours to get through a game instead of 7 hours or 5 days.
Holy cow!
Yeah, test matches go for 5 days.
Jeez.
Each team bats twice.
Holy cow.
So obviously they can finish before the 5 days is up if a team has a bad time. But yeah, generally 5-day test matches that go the whole length can be quite exciting. Yeah, I pretty much only do cricket and Formula One are the only sports that I watch these days. And
So what are we looking at here?
Oh, that's an American flamingo I saw when I was in Florida. Again, some contribution to the climate change. The flamingos had evacuated Florida. Even in the Keys, Key West didn't have any flamingos, and a hurricane blew them in the fall, and they're hanging around. And I photographed. This was one of 4 that was in right off the coast of Titusville, Florida, which is Central Coast near the Kennedy Space Center. They call it the Space Coast. And I went out with the fishing guide and got really close. That's a cell phone picture. That's a crappy cell phone picture, but otherwise they're often a small island and you have to be a mile away, and you get pink furry blobs. So
Yeah.
it's fantastic to go out with the fishermen and to get this full frame shot with the cell phone without disturbing the bird. And I was really artistically inspired by their beauty and their grace and their form. And it's a well put together bird.
I mean, look at the angle on that leg poking backwards. It forms an almost perfect right angle with the erect leg.
Crazy.
Yeah.
How many of you boomers remember the Christopher Cross album cover? You remember that, Pam?
I don't.
Christopher Cross had a hit single called Sailing off that album. It was a dark green cover, and right in the center of it was a flamingo posed like this.
So if they're staying there now and habitating it, are they getting, the natural food sources like that red shrimp
So
in their natural lake? Are they going to be getting that where they are now?
no, well, kind of. They're getting plenty of nourishment, but I don't think the shrimp are as red as they are further south. The grass type shrimp are more clear with less pigment.
Yeah, right.
So as you notice, this bird's not a flaming pink. It's more of a soft coral orange.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering, if its diet has contributed to its slight color difference.
Yeah, it has to be. It's a phenomenal bird. So I'd never seen one before. It was a life bird for me. It was very exciting. So I made this. I was so inspired. I made this diorama. I also designed a birding trail for a podcast, Taylor Trash Fly Fishing. So the redfish, the red drum feed with their nose down and their tail up, and the water is so shallow, their tail comes out of the water, and they call it tailing. So this podcast is a group of fly fishermen that angle for the redfish, and they named their podcast after that feeding habit, the Tailor Trash. So they wanted me. They're all into taking care of that lagoon, and they've raised and donated over $75,000 to environmental agencies in the area to protect their fishing habitat. So I made this little diorama, did some clay, and having worked with these little features, so that manatee you see there in the lower right, that's an Altoid 10, if you didn't notice, very tiny.
Yeah.
Those flamingos are 1 centimeter tall. And with these fat fingers, that was a whole day getting them that close. It was very difficult. I made the little ray, and you see the alligator in the background, and then filled up with epoxy. So it looks like there's some water in there. But I have mad respect for Ed and his ability to work with clay. He told me he'd been doing that since college. But he makes it easy. It is not easy.
Clove oil's also really good for sore tooth, Steve. If you've got any of that, I'm going to probably guess you don't have any Vicks Vapor Rub, but that also works. Applied externally, not onto the tooth, though.
I never heard that.
Yeah, clove oil, very good for toothache. If you can handle the taste. I hate the taste of it. It stinks, and cloves in general, bad. No good.
So, Blackie, did you just say to put it inside your mouth?
Clove oil, yes. You put your clove oil directly on the bad tooth and around your gums.
Okay. Clove oil. I thought you were still talking about the Vicks Vapor Rub.
Vicks Vapor Rub, like GRB says, you can put it on the outside.
Yeah.
And some of its analgesic qualities will absorb through your skin and stuff. But yeah, probably not advised to eat too much Vicks Vapor Rub. Although I do know a girl that I used to live with, going back to college days. She used to, when she had a cold or something coming on, she would actually get a fingerful and eat the stuff.
Ugh. And I know when I was a kid, my mom used to she would cover a rag with it and then tie it around my neck.
Yeah, I've had that. But Blackie, you need to stay away from girls like that.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons I mentioned it, Steve, is because generally a lot of fish keepers will have clove oil for euthanasia purposes, but it won't kill you, sir.
Good deal.
That's a good idea.
I showed you my little trout mobile there in front of, and that's one of the underbrims of a cap. I've been painting hats. I'm crazy about painting hats these days.
I was wondering about that, about your popper stopper on your microphone, whether it was a print job or whether you'd painted it.
No, I've been painting every hat I can get my hands on. So this one is actually the graphic design I collaborated with. The same guys that have the Saltwater podcast, they also come up to my neck of the woods for freshwater trout fishing. So I collaborated with them to make this sticker that is a take on one of our local highways that runs along the river. It's 44 South. And our river is the South Holston, which we affectionately call the Soho. So one of the guys had been calling Highway 44 the Soho 44 instead of South 44 because it runs along the river. And he asked if I could do a trout graphic to make that a sticker. And I did. This is what we came up with.
Nice.
So that's available on the Taylor Trash website, and he had it embroidered on a hat. And I appeared as a guest host on the podcast while we were in Florida, and he gave me the hat as a gift. And so
Nice.
I
like that.
customized it.
Took to it with a brush.
Yeah.
Yeah, kiwi. I'm sure it would be quite toxic in large quantities, but you know, a fingertip at a time, probably not so bad.
I know I read that Vicks will also works to get rid of like toenail fungus. You cover it every night before you go to bed with some Vicks.
Interesting.
It's supposed to get rid of it. So Vicks is kind of one of those cure-all things.
Coro Works has an interesting idea. I like it.
The coconut oil one.
Yeah. Heat up the coconut oil.
Yeah, that's a good
Add
idea.
the clove oil and swish it after a saltwater rinse. So, man, you're really ready to absorb any benefits in that.
Or you've already had so many bloody toothaches in your life that you're a seasoned pro at the mouthwash.
And it gets rid of corns and warts too, Coro says.
The Vicks or the clove oil?
The Vicks, I think. I remember reading about that grasshopper.
What's DMSA?
She had, I don't remember what it is. She had some kind of cancer, and she was like self-medicating for the cancer. And when she quit breathing and stuff, and they took her into ER, and when they started working on her, like the nurses were passing out and the doctors were passing out, and they had to like put on hazmat suits to be around her. She ended up dying, but she basically, her body was producing like a nerve gas that was knocking people out.
Crazy.
Was it just coming out of her pores or
out
of her?
Yeah, it was coming out of her pores.
Wow.
But it was I don't remember exactly what she was taking, but it was from like self-medicating because she had cancer, and she, was like self-medicating for the cancer, and just like
Dimethyl sulfoxide. I'll have to give that a goog.
But it ended up, like say, they couldn't even be in the same room with her or anything. They had ended up having to put on like full hazmat suits to get into the room to do anything with her. Oh, duct tape takes care of corns and warts and toe fungus. You can suffocate it. I hadn't heard that. I did hear that you can put Vicks vapor rub on like toe fungus, and it will cure it.
I always found the best cure for warts was a Stanley knife or an X-Acto knife, whatever you call them.
Ow.
Box cutter.
Oh my God, I got like when I was a teenager, I got I'll never forget this. I got a planter's wart, which is like a cone-shaped wart on the bottom of your foot that goes inside your foot in a cone shape.
Very painful.
Yeah. And my mom took me to the doctor, and he was like going to treat it, because you can't just put like a normal wart remover on. It's not going to do anything because it goes so far up into your foot. But I remember he had me sit on the end of the table with my foot out, and he got into a locked safe. I mean, this sucker had a lock and key. And then he gets this like thermos bottle out, and he like puts on a full mask and eye goggles and everything, and he unscrews the lid, and the steam starts coming out, and he's using a swab that's like that long, to dip into it and then come over and like, and I said, and you're going to touch me with that shit?
It's like a cauldron and a wand.
Yeah. No, you weren't going to touch me with that shit. But I got, when I was a teenager, I didn't realize until I figured it out later, just by trial and error and figuring out what I was allergic to. But I'm allergic to anything that's got wood grain alcohol, which is basically anything that's perfumed or heavily scented, because that's the basis for perfume, is wood grain alcohol. It's not the same as the alcohol that you drink. It's a different kind of alcohol. But anyway, anything that's perfumed. So like sunscreens and stuff, would just like, I put on sunscreen, and within 5 minutes, my legs were like they were on fire and covered in rash almost instantly. But one of the things that happened to me is I ran out of deodorant, and I used my dad's deodorant, which I think it was, I don't know if it was Right Guard or a different kind, but it was stronger than I'd normally use. And I got a wart on my underarm from it. So I got some Compound W. And I'm like, okay, I can take care of this thing by myself, because it's just a typical wart, right? Okay, so how do I show you what I did? Okay, pretend that this is Compound W, except it's like a little skinny little bottle, right? So I take a shower, and I read the directions on the back of the Compound W, and it says, do not get on your skin. Just get it right on the wart, and be careful not to get any on your actual skin. Just you dip the cotton swab in, and then you dab it just on the wart itself. Don't get it on your skin. So I get out of the shower, and I read the directions, and I'm standing in front of the mirror, and like I said, I got a wart on my underarm, right? So pretend this is cotton swab. I stick the cotton swab into the Compound W, and then I go like that. I go like that. And I dumped all the Compound W down my back.
Shit.
It was so stupid. So I'm sitting there. I remember I was standing there, and I was like, what the fuck did I just do? Oh, and I had to jump back in the shower and wash all the Compound W off my back real quick. Oh, I'm sorry for laughing, but it was pretty funny, really. It was like one of the.
I'm not sure if you can see, but on this finger, you see how there's like a hollow on the top of it?
Yeah.
Just near my widow's peak. Yeah. I used to have this recurring wart would grow there. And yeah, I took to that madly with the Stanley knife and picked it apart for months and months and months. And it came back once a little bit, and so I attacked it more and more. And eventually it just went away and never came back. And yeah, I've got no cancer in my finger, Coro, so I think it's all right. Just left me with a little bit of a hollow, which I guess might help with playing guitars and stuff. It might settle into the neck of the guitar a bit better.
Work it. So Pam, I bet you never got a wart on your back.
Nope.
not in the dribble spot.
I was gonna say that was like yesterday we were talking about our how smart we were. Sometimes we can be really stupid. That was one of my really stupid moments.
You were using Compound W prophylactically. That's okay.
And yeah, GRB saying that's the problem with kids of today. They don't eat enough dirt when young to develop resistance to bugs.
Yeah.
I was listening to, there's a famous media personality / scientist down in Australia called Dr. Karl Krysselnitsky. Very, very smart man. And he was telling a story on his podcast last week about when his son was a baby, anyone who would come and visit the baby, he'd get them to put their finger in the baby's mouth and like the soft padded side of the finger up onto the roof of the mouth and let the baby suck on their finger for a little second. And he said everyone that would come into the house, he'd get them to do that so that he was not only giving that baby, bugs to develop resistances to bugs, but also for gut biome and stuff like that, build up proper bacteria in the belly and whatnot. Thought it was very interesting. A good way to, I guess, prevent your kid from eating dirt or not needing to eat dirt. That's another way to get around it.
Give me the dirt.
I remember we had one time when I was in school, I think I was in 3rd or 4th grade, we had like the big flu epidemic. Not like the Spanish flu, not that bad, but it was bad enough to where half of the school was out. It was like or more than half, because I remember one of my classes that I went to normally had like 24, 25 kids per class. And I remember going to school that day and there was 5 kids in the class, including me. 5 kids in class. Everybody else was out with the flu. But I don't remember what I got. It wasn't the flu. I think I got like half of my face swelled up from a tooth coming in or something. So I got to stay home from school for that. But they closed the school down because of the flu. So it's like, damn it. But it is better to get stuff when you're a kid, like stuff like chicken pox and stuff. You're a lot better off getting them when you're in school than when you get to be an adult.
And
But a lot of that too is just your genetics or whatever. Because I know, like when I got chicken pox, it wasn't that bad, and my older kids, it wasn't that bad. But when Courtney got chicken pox, she had pox in her eyes and up her nose, and I mean, she just had them everywhere.
Ouchie.
Yeah. So I think it's, and the other thing is like when we were kids, we got the smallpox vaccination. Mm-hmm. And most people that are my age have a scar from it, but it never affected me at all. I never got a scar or anything. So I probably would have been one of the people that never got it.
Huh.
Remember a long time ago, I was saying about kookaburras, how they're not my favorite birds because the babies are very annoying when they're trying to learn to laugh and stuff. Yeah, there's a couple of babies and an adult one in the backyard. Proving my point yet again, year after year, making annoying noises. I mean, it's a terrible shame that I'm not sat outside so you can hear them making the noises, but it's also not a terrible shame that I'm outside because it's disgusting.
I would love to hear them, but I would not want you to suffer because of them.
Thank you.
I was reading something the other day about, and you will probably be in for it, Rack. But this summer, there's supposed to be 2 kinds of cichlids that come out at the same time this summer for the first time in like it
Oh,
only
cicadas.
oh yeah, that's what they are. What
Yeah,
are they called?
cicadas.
Yes, yeah. See, we don't have them over here, but cicadas, yeah. Because I remember when I was on Cape Cod, there was a hatching of them, and oh my God, the noise was awful. But you're due to get 2 different kinds at once coming out this summer, which I guess only happens like once every 108 years or something like that.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah,
I've
you
heard
guys are
the
going
story
to
over and
get
over. I
really
can't
bad.
remember. It's like an 11-year cycle and a 17-year cycle.
Yeah, and they're both hatching out on the same
Yeah, and so
year.
usually only one of each cycle hatches at a time, and they're both going to
Yeah.
hatch. So it's going to be deafening. If
Yeah.
you think baby kookaburras are bad, oh my God.
Oh, we get our fair share
Yeah.
of cicadas here too. We got these massive big green ones coming out at the moment.
How
They're
big
very
is
pretty.
massive big?
I like their bodies over an inch long.
Thank you for using Imperial.
Yeah, I don't want to have to calculate.
Yeah,
for everyone
easier to
else
tell the stupid Americans in their own language than to translate for them. How did we miss the metric system? How did that happen?
I don't know. Yeah, but you've
I
gone
don't
too
know.
far.
When I was in school,
we
they said
thought
we
it
were
was a
going to change
tax,
to
and
it,
we
but we
weren't going to
never
pay it.
did. Cicadas, so that's what they're called, cicadas. I like I said, I had them hatch out one of the years that I was on Cape Cod, but that was the first time in my life I'd ever seen them. I'd heard of them, but never seen them because, like say, here we don't get them. It's too cold here, I think. But yeah, you guys are going to have it rough this summer with like 108-year thing where they both hatch at the same time.
The fly fishermen are getting excited about it.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Hey,
Hey,
TJ.
TJ.
What is going on, TJ?
Yeah, I'm also talking about Imperial and metric. I was quite surprised when you were describing your flamingos in your little diorama and said that they were a centimetre tall instead of saying they were less than half an inch tall.
Well, yeah, so that wasn't exactly for your benefit, Blackie. It was for dramatic effect. Because over here, a centimeter sounds really small. Went to my point. Here's the model that I made with the little dye and the epoxy and the fisherman's driven his Hot Wheel Land Rover out to his favorite spot.
It's very cool.
Yeah, I'm telling you, the number of hours in building that model is obscene. I'm not complaining. I'm just telling you. It's like you can do a little bit of work and then you can wait for a day for it to dry.
There's quite a chance as well that the Land Rover Defender may well be my favorite car on the planet.
Because it drives underwater like a submarine?
Just because it's sexy as. I
do like the lines. Less curves, more angles.
And I like a car that, you know, when its original design becomes you know, they haven't changed, or they've minimally changed that design in like 30 years. It's maybe even longer.
Yeah.
But yeah, some of the modern versions that are coming out with all the mod cons and whatnot attached to it can sell for quite a lot of money. I think they were model railway trees in your diorama, weren't they?
I don't know much about them other than over here they are a collector's dream. They love to get that old one and rebuild it. Like a prized possession, more like a friend than an automobile in a collection.
Yeah, that's what I'll be aiming towards, is one day having one that I can either restore or buy it already restored. But that's not much fun in buying someone else's work, is it?
I like the vintage colors. The palette was sweet.
Mm. I don't know if did you answer GRB's question about whether your trees that you use are model railway trees? I thought I remembered you saying they were.
Yeah, a lot of the modeling stuff I have straight out of the railroad genre, but that has
Blacky and
expanded now to these like Dungeon and Dragon tabletop games where you make these
Yeah.
small tabletop features, and it's not relegated as a train unless you want the scale already made to scale. Like in my model there, the fisherman is HO scale, which is like 180, 190, and then the Hot Wheel in the background is 168. So there's not a lot of scale fidelity there. And then the trees in the
Scale
background,
fidelity.
they're HO scale, and I bought those. I want to say they may have been on Amazon, but the same tree set was also on Aldi Express. So they're
G'day,
straight out of
Bloxy.
China. And if you look closely, there's not a lot of love on the manufacture of those trees. They're made pretty quickly.
Pretty slapdash.
Yeah. Now can you put that photo back up for a second, Pam, of the model
No, I'm done. Sorry.
with the fisherman? So the border brush along the river is essentially sponge that's dyed OD green. But the railroad modeling company, Wildland Scenics or Wild Scenes, they sell it in a plastic tin, like a quart size, and you shake it out, and it's like all different sizes of these clumps of sponge that's been dyed. And the grass I made with a little static grass machine that you put a dab of glue down, Elmer's glue, and then charge it with static with this machine, and then shake the fibers out, and they stand up.
Oh, wow.
And then when they dry, you can peel them off the wax paper and place them in your model wherever you want.
I wonder who was the first kid to work that shit out.
Right? Who was that genius? But this photograph is so spectacular because those trees in the background look great. And when you see the model in real life, you would ask, "Where's the one you took a picture of?" They're kind of squared off, like they get 4 chops and then they go in the bag.
Yeah, right.
They're not trying to make them conical or round.
Yeah, I have 4 massive big tables out in the garage. They're like 5 feet by 8 feet. They're like trestle tables that my nephews who used to do those tabletop Warhammer and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So the surface of the table is like
Havenovsky.
almost like an AstroTurf cross with sandpaper sort of terrain. And yeah, they had boxes and boxes of trees and mosses and all sorts of stuff that they used to use for their terrain.
Well, I started making those things, and you can get lost in it. It's so much fun. You realize right away you can make anything. You can make anything in the world, and all of a sudden you get confused by all of the variety. Where do I begin?
Yeah, I got to find a use for those tables because it seems such a waste to have such glorious big tables sitting out in the shed not being used. I've got a friend who's a mad Star Wars toy collector, and he's currently got his house basically set up with all these different Star Wars displays and stuff. And he's going to move into a bigger house soon because he's got a house he inherited a house in Byron Bay, which is worth millions. So he's going to sell that up soon and go and buy a bigger house out in the country somewhere, and then probably buy a couple of those tables off me so he can do big Star Wars displays. I rearranged all my Legos the other day so that they're a bit more tidier and organised.
Uh-huh.
Nice collection.
Oops, wrong way. I started just mainly collecting TIE Fighter versions. That was my goal with Lego, to just do TIE Fighters. And then there was too many other cool spaceships in the Star Wars Lego stuff, so I just started buying all the cool ones.
Are you done?
Done buying Star Wars Lego?
Yeah.
I doubt it. There's new ones come out every year, so you know, I'll generally buy at least one or two when the new ones come out. And it can be a fool's errand, because sometimes you'll buy them when they come out at retail price, and then, or you won't buy them at retail price, and then not long later they'll either be $50 cheaper or $150 dearer, and you can't pick it. There's a few things that I've missed out on, like Vader's Fortress. I was going to buy that for $180, and I thought, nah, that's too much. Now you can't find it for cheaper than $500.
Oh my!
Other things I've bought for like $120. Now they're everywhere for $79. But yeah, most Lego goes up. So what I've got to get in the habit of doing is buying two of everything that I buy.
Right. Just in case.
So I can keep one in the box and get my money back later on, and one to play with, because it's still Lego. I'm not like a fucking idiot that just leaves shit in the box. I want to play with it too. But yeah, now because I did that top of that cupboard, now I've opened up all of this space over in the corner that I can fill up with other junk. Ideally, what I should put in that corner is like guitar amps, so I can actually play loud music out here. But loud music and old people doesn't really go well. Ah, yeah, that big Yoda was very, very pricey, Kragos. But yes, it's definitely priced out of kids' range.
Yeah,
I mean, some of it's cheap and affordable, but you don't get many bits for it. But I think the most expensive one of mine that I've got was probably $230, I think, and that was Cad Bane's ship. That was quite expensive. But yeah, that is definitely one that is frightfully expensive now if you try and find it. And the helmets too. I need a Dark Trooper helmet in Lego. That was $89 when it first came out, and now I can't find it for less than $150. Bloody stodgy scammers.
Hey, Surf
G'day,
City.
City. There was a...
Wow.
Yeah, it's ridiculous how much money that company makes over the last 70 years or something since they've been going. There was a story in the news last week or the week before, and this dude, his property was raided by police, and they found lots of drug paraphernalia, ingredients for making methamphetamine, weed, cocaine, some other things as well. But the highlight of their discovery was about 3 carloads of Lego that he was obviously investing his drug money and buying the Lego with his drug money, potentially with the looking to the future to be able to resell it for
Wow.
much bigger money. That's not a bad way to launder money because Lego is expensive, so you can chew up a lot of your drug money pretty quick. But yeah, that was a funny story to read. I should find it and forward it to you guys. He sent it to me, Samuel.
Pam, I put another little video up there of another diorama and an Altoids tin if you want to show it.
Yeah, hang on. Oh, there it is.
Pardon, mate.
And that's a curiously strong diorama.
That's the one I've got.
I just polished off another box this week, so I'll be looking for a subject for a diorama. But those fly fishermen came, and they were expensive, but they came in a pack.
Little train
makes sense.
Very cool.
So I've used 2 of them. Looks like I'm gonna have room for about 3 more dioramas in my pack.
All you need to find a little grizzly bear to have standing behind him.
Not a bad idea, Pam. I'm going to search right now. HO scaled grizzly bear. Oh yeah, they got them. $12.
Mine's a bit worse for wear compared to yours.
Nice. OG. Do that have the white bottom?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, white and some various rust shades.
So the new ones are not white on the bottom. They're just silver.
Just metal. Jesus, I can't even open this anymore. Oh, shit. Fucking hell, that is locked tight. Oh, you got it.
Now, I've never had one of those tins. Like my dad used to have my dad was a truck driver, and he always carried these little metal Anison tablet things, these little tiny little things, but they had like white crosstop pills in them all the time. But he always had them in the glove box, these little tin Anison bottles or cans.
It is GRB. GRB asked about the fly box. That's my local fly store of choice. That's new, and they have a deli and a bar with 6 fresh taps.
Bloody hipsters.
That's exactly what I thought. And then I'm like, I don't care. I often go fishing.
Now I can't close it. Goes both ways. Fuck. And all it's got in it is my tuning lock caps for my Stratocaster, one part of a strap lock for guitar, and a tiny little Allen key also used for the Stratocaster. There it goes. Got it.
Oh, I got a new sticker.
Oh, that one's pretty cool.
Looks like that big trout on the wall.
Does too.
Yep.
It's almost the same, except smaller. It's pretty fly for a white guy.
That comes from the assigned Gmail email address. Back in the day when you signed up for email, they assigned you an account. You could change, they encourage you to change the address, but the one they assigned to me was SoMrFly@gmail. And I still have it and I still use it sometimes. And so thinking of SoMrFly, I'm working with the SoFly logo in the Rat Cross studio.
Coro said, we've been talking fishing so much, I heard Stratocaster and was like, what kind of reel is that?
That would be cool if Fender got into the reel business.
Sure. Diversification. Isn't that
I
what
saw a
business is?
Volkswagen the other day that had a Fender package on it. Slick, very slick.
As in bodywork, or it had some decals of Fender?
No, it was like the whole interior fashion trim package, and then the exterior had a Fender, raised chrome logo on it. Very slick. And part of the package was an upgraded stereo. Sounded great.
My Stratocaster's been living down in my son's studio, so I haven't played it lately.
Mine is hanging on the wall inactive as usual, and I'm pretty sure that's not going to be a player's guitar. It's going to be a store of value.
What you got? What's yours?
So my first one I ever bought was for my son. It was a Mexican Fender, $300 US. And he sold it without me knowing about it. And it was a beautiful guitar, light blue with a light neck, maple neck. And I looked later at the value of the very model that I bought him, which was like a base model, if you know anything about Stratocasters. And they had doubled and tripled in value. You can't buy a Mexican Strat anymore for $300.
Some people will attest that they're better than American-made ones sometimes.
So now
But
they've got this.
Mine's American.
They don't do that anymore. They don't make the Mexican Strat, the $300 base model. It's an upgrade that they make now. I don't know what it is. It's $1,000, $1,100. But they have this players model. So I have the Stratocaster players model, and I think retail on it's about $600 now, and it's US made. Someone can correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, mine's American made. Mine's a 1992 Strat Plus Deluxe in a nice blood red with a white scratch plate and rosewood fingerboard.
A beauty. She's a beauty.
Beautiful guitar to play. And I could probably almost get 10 times what I paid for it if I was to sell it now, but it's almost going to have to be an heirloom, I think. I don't think I'd ever want to sell it because it's such a beautiful guitar to play.
Yeah. You can get attached to them. GRB says the Mexican Strats are $1,200, $1,300 in Australia now. Just like the Lego, should have bought two. Should have bought two.
Well, the funny thing about my Strat was that when I got my hands on it, I was working in a secondhand / pawn shop, and this guitar and an amp and a whole bunch of pedals came through, and I like when people come in and sell you stuff in Australia, you're supposed to hang on to it for 2 weeks before you can sell it, to enable police checks and stuff like that. And I made a deal with the owner of the shop and paid him cash for it and took it away. And then luckily it was after the 2 weeks. The police, because the police used to do, they would come in once a week and they would go through our records looking for stolen goods. And lo and behold, this guitar was actually a stolen guitar. So that's probably another reason why I should never try and sell it. Because then I'll be offense. G'day, AAA.
AAA, Amateur Aquatic Addiction. Good day.
Long time no see, bro. Used to. Coro says, pawn shop. Blacky used to work in the industry.
Hey, George.
G'day, George. Yeah, with an AW, though, not an OR.
So, Pam, did you say you're going to stream tomorrow also with new art?
Yeah.
Still?
Yeah, I'm going to try to finish because I've got some bills coming up really quick here. I got a really high electric bill from it being so cold last month. And I got to catch up with my storage unit or I'm going to lose everything. I got to catch up with my rent because I'm a little bit behind and they're starting to like send me emails. So yeah, I gotta get some stuff sold. I'll probably I'll try to finish the Wolf and have it for tomorrow night and probably the Roadrunner the next night and just keep going till I can get some stuff caught up.
I can't wait to see that Roadrunner.
Yeah, they're funky looking birds.
Yeah.
I love seeing those in the wild. Oh, I saw a video today, Pam, of a large bullfrog that had managed to get a duck's head down its throat.
Whoa, that's a big bullfrog.
So the duck was still floating on the water with its head underwater. And someone saw it, like, what's it doing? And they poked it, and the frog legs kicked under it. And they were able to grab the duck, pull it out of the water, and there's this big bullfrog hanging off the head of the duck. And they were able to separate the two. The duck swam off. But I thought of you because it was a common goldeneye. It was a common goldeneye hen.
Did you keep that video?
It was on Instagram. You might be able to search and find it.
I was going to suggest that you could forward the link into our group chat.
Yeah, let's see if I can find it.
I had one
That
time
would be
when
an awesome picture for Pam to draw.
I was fishing with a worm and a bobber, just fishing off the bank of the Columbia on one of the backwaters, actually. But I kept getting a bite, but it wouldn't really bite. It was just to move the bobber, would go sideways a little bit. And I kept working, trying to get this fish. And I finally hooked it, and it was a big perch. But when I pulled it up, the reason that it wasn't really hitting it very hard is because I pulled this perch up, and he's got like the hook in his mouth, and then on each side of his mouth is coming out crawdad pinchers. Because he was eating a crawdad, and just the pinchers were still sticking out, and he was just barely hitting that worm, which is why it took me so long to get him.
He was a bit full.
Yep.
TJ asks
but it looked odd to pull up a fish with 2 crawdad pinchers coming out of its mouth. And TJ, I had the little wood duck sold, and I did a little coyote that sold. So right now I've got the buffalo, which nobody bid on, and then probably going to do another stream tomorrow night I've got a wolf and a roadrunner that are almost done. So I should be able to finish one or the other. It'd be really good if I could do both, but probably one or the other, and do a short stream tomorrow night too.
Wow. Just watching that video now, Rack. That's nuts. That kid's got ambition.
He's going to make something of himself.
Far out. What did he think he was going to do?
My guess is the frog was chilling on the bottom of whatever body of water, and the duck was dabbling, and it irritated the frog, and it snapped at it, swallowed its
Well,
head.
looks like the
Yes.
the bird is still alive too, huh?
Yeah, the bird swam off.
Oh wow. He's like, what the hell was that? That's a big, big bullfrog.
Yes, these kids in the chat are reminding us that it's been 2.5 hours now.
Oh yeah, everybody's probably getting tired. I think June decided not to buy the bison because she hasn't like said any more about it, so which is fine. But we still got the bison is for sale then. So we should probably go is what I think everybody's telling us here.
Thank you very much, AAA.
AAA, that's very nice of you.
Shout out to replay teams. Nice touch.
Thank you for that. That was very nice.
Yes, amateur
We
aquatic
just pop in
edition.
more often and say hi to us. We're gonna think we'll do a short stream again tomorrow night. I've had a couple different people telling me that they would be interested if I do a wolf, so the wolf will probably be tomorrow night. I'll finish that one first, probably.
What time do you think you're going to start tomorrow night, Pam?
Same time as
Okay.
always, 9 o'clock my time, so that'd be 11 o'clock your time.
Very good.
How's your humidity been going, AAA? It's been pretty nasty up here. AAA is just down the road from me.
Oh, is he?
It's like 6 hours down the road. Much closer to Cragos than me, but still in the same state. I think, from memory.
Pam, have you ever done any of the dioramas
Mm-mm.
or any miniature?
Nope.
Me
The only
neither.
thing I ever did is one time I made like a dinosaur land for my daughter.
Yeah.
So it was I did it on a big piece of plywood, probably about 3 foot by 4 foot.
Nice.
And I remember I did it had like a volcano, and I did that by I built the paper mache up around a balloon.
Right.
And then,
Oh, cool.
And then pop the balloon and pulled it out of it. Yeah. And it had caves, and it had I remember I used a big mirror to make a big lake, and had all kinds of like railroad sized trees and stuff, and made her a big dinosaur land to play, because she was like absolutely like she knew everything about dinosaurs and was in love with them, and had all these little toy dinosaurs and stuff, and name off every kind of dinosaur you wanted to know about. She'd tell you all about it and stuff. So yeah.
Yeah, that's right, AAA. We were talking about the Yamba emus in the past, weren't we? The threatened population of an isolated family of emus in the Yamba area.
Oh wow.
Wild ones?
Yeah.
Huh.
So anyway, yep, I'm going to go tomorrow night again, and we will let everybody go now.
Thanks
And
for
thank you, everybody,
subscribing
for
to my
being
YouTube channel, everyone.
And Rack, if you want to join us tomorrow night, please do.
I'm a definite maybe. I'd love to, but I can't commit from here. It's part of the joy of not having a schedule. Things can just fall upon you.
So keep it in mind if you happen to be like not doing anything.
Absolutely.
Because I'm sure everybody got tired of me today, because the first hour and a half it was just me talking. So yeah.
It would have been earlier, but you know, I did have some jobs thrust upon me.
Well, yeah, everybody's got a life, so except for me, I don't have a life, so
Thanks for being here, GRB.
Yep. Thanks everybody for coming in, and thank you, Grasshopper, for your
Debs.
expert link slinging that you always do. And Kat,
Bye-bye,
thank you.
Debs.
And thank you, Blacky, and thank you, Rack.
Thank you for
Thanks,
having
Pam.
us.
Appreciate you having me.
So I have Discord, but yeah, we can get together about it next time you come in. We'll see if we can figure out how to hook up on Discord. I'm not very good at it. But anyway, thanks guys. And like I said, I'll be streaming it again tomorrow night with hopefully, I think, a drawing of a wolf. So good night,
Can't wait.
guys.
Good night, everybody. So long.
See you all.